Seth here with, here we are yet again, with another Super Boss showcase and release, one I've looked forward to for quite a while, the one and only Super Boss, the Bullet! Indeed. Revenger Bullet came out on a rather timely schedule, if you ask me. Yep, we reached the point in the video where I do my introductory speech, and then my mind blanks what I was going to say next. Really, I should probably just jump into this, because this change list I'm looking at here is, whoo, boy! Yeah, we might be here for a while, folks, I'm sorry. But, that just means there's a lot more cool stuff to go over with Bullet here, and, yeah, there's definitely a lot of features to go over indeed with this character. I think I might have actually, went a little overboard here, but I don't see any complaints in the comments on any of our videos, even though probably not many people are going to watch this one, because, well, Bullet's unfortunately not the most popular character, but she's my main. I had to give her some time in the spotlight. It's only fair. The Bullet has her time in the glory this day, and none shall escape her wrath. Well, without further ado, we're actually going to cut the fucking 2-minute intro tradition, the 2-minute intro tradition, because we're sitting on 1 minute 30 right about now, so let's just, yeah, let's start going over her now, so we can hopefully shave off as much time as possible. As usual, down in the description, she has an English voice here, but for once I'm actually not going to include it in the download. Instead, I'll actually include it on her change list, or her change list? Yeah, her change list. A link to my English dub pack #1 video, because that includes her voice alongside other characters, so if you want English dub Bullet, you can mosey your way on over there and pick up her voice pack as well as other characters from that download. Just kind of figured it'd be easy. I don't know. We'll see how it pans out. Also included in the download is obviously the background music I'm using, because this is sort of her boss theme, and that's usually, you know, what I do there. In the case I do mod music in for a character, and this song in particular I like a lot. Don't I have music already up on max setting? Yes, I do. I extended the video duration by talking about this, haven't I? Okay, it was stuff we had to go over regardless. Okay, on to the actual changes, my friends. Okay. Well, for starters, because Bullet herself already... Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, that is right, actually. Yeah, because, Bullet herself actually has a pretty decently high health pool, normally. Revenger Bullet here has 19,500 health. That's literally 500 off the usual max I would give a super boss, because, my max is pretty much 20,000. So, she's kind of, surfing on the edge there. Not quite there, but, I mean, she might as well be, but she isn't. And, one thing about Revenger Bullet here that's certainly unique is, you'll notice just now, her overdrive. Yeah, it doesn't activate for some bizarre reason, and, Julian Guerrero, you caught that. No one else commented on it, but you caught that when I was showing her off. But yeah, as you can see, her overdrive doesn't work. Let's see, how do I actually write it down? Right, yeah, overdrive will last 0 seconds with the icon consumed. I actually kind of wanted to have her start with no burst at all, actually, but that didn't work. So just be careful not to, accidentally... Yeah, you can still use the overdrive, though, as you can see. You can use it for, overdrive cancels. So you can do that. Of course, that's not really what you guys are wondering about. You guys are wondering, Seth, why did you make her overdrive like this? Well, we'll go into that later, my friends. Don't you worry. For now, just know that using her overdrive will basically waste it. And that even goes as far as, like, say... Yeah. So, we'll go over that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let's go over everything else first. So, as you can clearly see, Bullet here has permanent heat up. And to be exact, she has permanent heat up level 2, because of course she does. And that means she can kind of just, yeah, string multiple level 2 follow-ups together for insanely high damage. Insanely high damage. I mean, what do you expect, though? It's Bullet. Bullet does big numbers. That's one of the only things she does do well. That's actually kind of like why I main her, because she does get big numbers relatively easily. You still have to work for big numbers, just not execution-wise or anything like that. You're gonna fish for counter hits and shit, though. You think I want to fucking focus on wanting to get a fucking counter hit, fucking 3C, whatever? No. I just want to be able to do like 5B, fucking this shit right here. There we go, fucking 3K. 5C, Miculet, chuck 'em 3K. Simple enough. But yeah, she has permanent heat up level 2, so yeah, that she can just chain heat up all together. It never expires, anything like that. So basically, like, she's an overdrive the entire time, which for Unlimited doesn't normally do that, which kind of sucks. That would have been amazing if it did, but it doesn't. But Super Boss Bullet does, and that's what matters right now. In addition, of course, I've increased her walk speed by 50%, which isn't really that noticeable in her case, I just noticed. I don't really notice any, like, extreme difference whatsoever. Unless I didn't raise it at all, actually. Well, I'm not going to bother to check right now. However, something that is easily noticeable is her forward dash, which has been completely changed and revamped. It is now a run type that uses her Miculet animation, as you can see. Except it's a regular dash, so you can do normals and stuff out of it. Because her stubby little hop dash is complete fucking ass. It's one of the things I hate about her, so I gave Bullet here a real dash, and she goes pretty fast, too. She actually goes faster than Miculet normally does. So, given how speedy she is now, she can close in pretty well for a rushdown / grappler hybrid, if I do say so myself. Also, I really just like her run animation here with Miculet. So, I mean, why would I not do that? I also buffed her backdash, too. It travels a little further, and it's actually invincible until she lands, so it's actually a little like Tager's. Although she's not really airborne for that long, so I'm not sure how helpful that is, but she does get a little more distance off her backdash to get her out of sticky situations. And actually can do just backdash and then 5C back in if you really want to, or just backdash 5B, better yet. Something like that. Also went ahead and buffed her air dash speed, not by too much though. I did buff it by 50%, but only goes about half screen. However, the duration she spends air dashing on forward air dash and backwards air dash has been cut by 4 frames, and that means she can actually act out of them faster. So you can do really nasty shit like this. Yeah. You know, you can actually do instant air dashes. I'm pretty bad at getting them consistently, but yeah, as you can see, it really helps, especially for a backdash here. Look at this shit. She can just basically just JC out of her air backdash instantly. Pretty obvious why that would be helpful in a fight. Okay, next up we have... Yeah, might as well go over the counter assault first. So, I changed her counter assault animation, kind of like what I did with, it's just the animation. I didn't do anything fancy like I did with Hakumen or fucking Makoto, unfortunately, but I did change the animation because, you know, 6B is kind of shitty for that. So, if I can just have Sandbag Rachel. Like, speaking of, yeah, we're using Sandbag Rachel, of course, for our test dummy. We're clearly going to need her massive health pool to display Bullet's damage, obviously, but that's a no-brainer. What do I have her set to do right now? Okay. Let's just have Rachel here do... Yeah, so Bullet's counter assault animation is now her 5B, not her 6B, which you can see why that's a hell of a lot better. There's no change to duration or anything like that. It's just as fast, just as much recovery, but the animation, the hitbox is basically just a hell of a lot better. It's just knocking people off of you. Not that anyone here watching probably even uses counter assaults, to be fair, I think, but it's a nice quality of life change. And another, to a more interesting change, all of her grounded normals, except for 6C, 3C, and her drives, can actually all be dash canceled on hit or block, and actually this uses her little hop dash cancel still. But yeah, any normal she has, including a 2C, even the first hit of 2C, yeah, you can dash cancel all of these. Wait, can you do... Oh, you can't... Ooh, nice double side switch, Seth. But yeah, dash cancel all you want to your heart's content. Not sure how useful that'll be in any practical application, but I guess the option is nice. It's kind of what I was considering. probably a lot safer to do that off like a block 2C, to be fair. Next up... Oh. So, another interesting change that is pretty much only new to bullets so far. We're 10 minutes on already. Oh, fuck. Okay. But anyways, another interesting change we did to Bullet is, actually to her taunt. Yeah, you're probably asking yourself, well, Seth, nothing's really wrong with her taunt, but, Bullet can actually cancel her taunt into Serpentine Assault. I completely forgot about this. But, yeah, she can, at any point during her taunt, she can just whiff cancel Amikio into a Serpentine, just for the hell of it. I don't know why I made her do that, but I just figured it'd be funny. That's the whole reason, I guess. Alright. Speaking of her dash cancels, though, the dash cancel actually goes, 50% farther with a lot more, with a much quicker startup as well, so... Definitely helps for putting the pressure on. All that good stuff. My filler commentary is getting worse over time, I swear. Okay, enough about the dash cancels, though. Oh, speaking of that, I probably shouldn't have included the dash cancel notes, only as normals, actually. Considering I actually just put the global note there. Shit. Oh, I'll just gloss over that here. Maybe I'll update the download, the readme in the download for a change list before I upload the video. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Okay, lastly, before we actually go into specific normal changes, we have to go over her crush trigger, because of course it did something to crush trigger. So, for her crush trigger, it's actually full charge by default. So it's got maximum stagger, and if you just, air hit will wall bounce. But that's not really the most important part. The important part is that charging the crush trigger to full, of course, is where it gets interesting. Woo, boy! What was that, you ask? That was an unblockable Overdrive Rage Aggressor follow-up burst that ends with a piercing engage shot for massive damage and wall bounces. The charge time overall is actually a bit faster than normal, not by very much, but it is faster. And charged crush trigger here has 120 Proration 1 and 100 Proration 2, meaning it's a very good starter and it scales really well in combos. Obviously, with scaling like that, and the fact that it's 4K, nearly 5K raw, it would be in your best interest to probably not get hit by this. Now then, on to her actual normal changes, discounting anything that might include dash cancels because I am a moron. Let me see here. So that would be... So 5C, for starters. 5C is now jump cancelable on hit or on block, and it also has more iron tuckable time, which you're probably wondering what that's for, but it's really for stuff like, what's a good way to show... Yeah, stuff like this. Wait, hold on. There we go. It's for stuff like that. Because you can't just do like 2C and then 5C, so. Just a little something to help your corner juggles there, really. Yeah, like that. Is that it? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just, yeah, jump cancel and 4 air juggle time. 2A is a low. It normally isn't a low, apparently. Right? I should know this, because I named this fucking character, but honestly, I never use her 2A, really, so that's my excuse. Yeah, her 2A is normally not a fucking low, so, well, it is now. Pretty basic overall, but, you know. Simple as that. 2B also has more air attackable time, and you know my philosophy with that is usually just for knockdown pickups. Stuff like that, and for relaunches. 2B, however, is no longer counted as 5B and cancel change, so you can actually use both of them more times in the string. Normally, you'd just be able to do 5B, 2B, and they have to move on, but because they both have 2 uses per string now, you can do the whole double chain there. Is that it? Yes, it is. 2C can actually cancel into 3C now, which means it actually has a cancel option to something else. Normally it doesn't, outside of specials, but now you can do 2C, 3C, and it's a valid combo. And also has more air attackable time. It actually has the same air untech as 3C now. Just as a comparison. Next up is 6A. 6A got its Gatling into 5C back. And it can Fatal Counter now. As well as the startup being just a teensy bit faster. Not super faster, but just a little bit faster. As well as having 110 Paration 1, making it upscale your combo damage as a starter. And along being able to cancel into 5C, it can now also cancel into 5B or 2B on hit or block without the counter hit, just to show you. That is indeed valid. Alright, I think we're making pretty good time here with the hustle. Good job, Seth, good job. Next up, 6B has more hit stun overall and is air unblockable like a traditional anti-air. Does it go through barrier though? I doubt it does. I think it's all just the usual... Goes through normal air blocking, but if you barrier it... Oh! It does go through air barrier. Okay then. Well, yeah, this is just air unblockable then. Fuck you, I guess. 6B has more hit stun overall and is air unblockable, and... Oh yeah, the extra hit stun actually lets you do... Shit. I was doing that blind, my bad. You can actually do with the increased hit stun, you can do 6B into 6D without a counter hit. That's kind of why I went for that. Yeah, I think you can do other stuff too. You can't quite do 2D off of it because they technically air too fast, but yeah, this is a helpful route to know because of, well, changes we'll get into in a second with 6D. 6C! Obviously, this is noticeably faster, just a little bit though, but it is faster. And you can actually directly cancel 6C into aerials on hit or block without having to jump, which is why you can do 6C, JC instantly. Or you can also do that on block, I imagine. That's pretty impressive. Anything else there? Oh, yeah, this is also air unblockable now too, like 6B is. And it actually has head invincibility early into the move, so it actually has head and foot invincibility. And is also no longer treated as a head attack, which made it kind of whiff on crouchers a little bit. Well, it doesn't now. I think that's why I did it anyways. I can't think of any other reason why I would have changed it to a body attack from a head attack. But, yeah, so... That also means anti-airs won't beat it outright either, so I think we do... Actually... That's head armor, isn't it? I can't seem to quite time this interaction well enough. Oh, there we go, I think. Kind of? Who knows? Is that it? Yes, it is. 3C gets head and body invincibility on frame 1, and it lasts until you recover from the move. Or rather, during the recovery, the move I should specify actually instead. Also has longer counter hit knockdown than normal. It doesn't actually have a hard knockdown off of itself normally, but if you get a counter hit, the knockdown off counter hit is actually a lot longer. JB has more grounded hit stun, so in case you do like a falling JB, it's easier to convert off of it. Can I get an icky cross up off this? Guess not. Just a little experimentation there. JC can be jump canceled on block as well as on hit, so you can do stuff like that. On block now as well. And also has 50% more air attackable time because, of course, Seth likes to buff air attackables on pretty much every move. Mostly just to help with air juggles or relaunches. That's pretty much the whole reason behind that. Alright, next up, she actually has a new jumping normal. I should say semi-new because, fun fact, Unlimited Bullet has this J2C attack right here that isn't noted, Yeah, it is present on her Chrono Phantasma Unlimited form, but for some weird-ass reason, probably because it's obscure and minor, nobody actually ever mentions it. This move isn't even listed on the BlazBlue wiki for the Unlimited changes either, actually. I kind of just found it by accident while I was on Chrono Phantasma Extend at some point, and, yeah. So as you can see, holy shit. Yeah, as you can see, it has a very gigantic hitbox, and that's because it's the same animation as her 6D, as you can see. But, yeah, I'm not responsible for how big the hitbox on this is, but it is quite gigantic. But about what this move actually does, I've actually changed it a little bit from its Sword's incarnation. It will force crouching on grounded hits, and if you land on an air hit, let's say from like 6B or 6C, it will do a small little ground bounce, which is lets you get some ground slide if you do 5C after, and in the corner, as you can already notice, you can do relaunches off that. It's got 90 Paration 1, which is 10% more than JC at the cost of less range. I say less range, but probably this thing has more range. I don't know why I noted that. But this has a much more gigantic range than JC. But yeah, this is basically her best aerial starter, I think. Oh boy, and lastly, we get to talk about her drive normals. And as, yeah, you can tell, they're like her Unlimited. 5D is, however, has been re-sped up to be the same speed as her air version in this game, meaning it can be used in most combos again akin to Chrono Phantasma and Chrono Phantasma Extend, as it fucking should be! Because the fact they fucked it over as bad as they did in this game still to this day pisses me off. Well, no longer. We're back to the fucking glory days. You can do fucking 5C, 5D, and have it be a valid combo. Fucking hell, man. Right then. Of course, the special cancel window has also been increased, so that you get less fucking instances of dropping special cancels, like you've probably seen me do a million times. As you can see, I did a lot of these changes just for my own fucking quality of life benefit. Cause goddamn, every time I do 5D, and then I try to do Snap Hands Fist after, and the fucking game delays it and makes it whiff, and I get killed for it, is infuriating to a new level. Which, of course, in an ironic turn of fate, that sort of thing happened during the Limited Mars run I was doing, but it shouldn't happen nearly as much with the upgraded special cancel window. And, of course, on top of that, like her Unlimited form back in Chrono Phantasma, it goes full screen. Although I will note that although it does go full screen, it does take a bit longer at full screen distance for her to actually lock on. Just as a word of warning. Next up, we have... Right. A change done to both 6D and 2D is that the bonus paration on them has been raised from 110 to 120. The paration 1 has been increased on both from 80 to 90, and they both can fatal counter now. As well as the startup on both being reduced slightly to allow for more chains into them off of a variety of counter hit starters now. Which, I know that sounded like a lot of gibberish, but now this basically means if you get a counter hit like a 2C, 2D works. 3C, 2D works. 2C, 6D works. I wonder if, this probably doesn't work. The corner? Mid-screen? Nope, landing recovery. 6A goes into drives. Or rather, 6A goes into... Wait, really? Okay, yeah, so it's mostly going into 6D, because 6D is faster. But basically, you can take advantage of a counter hit even harder by just going directly into 2D or 6D, or, yeah, 6D or 2D for the bonus duration, essentially. You can capitalize off those counter hits a hell of a lot more. And as for specific changes, we have 6D as being air unblockable to catch jump-out attempts. Trying to fuzzy guard this bullshit will no longer work, my friends. Even if you barrier block it. The bullets will just swat you out of the air. And has a higher ground bounce, so you can actually do combos off of it that don't involve going directly into Wand Cutter. Do you get 5C? Nope, not quite. 2D has more upward knockback in the same vein, so you can combo off of it without special cancel, just like 6D there. Can't get 65C off that either, but you can get... Excuse me? There we go. Takes a little bit of timing. And the last change for her regular drives is that the drive moves have their old CP extend red lock invincibility during the chase, until they connect along with slightly increased block stun. So basically while Bullet is dashing at you there, she's invincible, because of red lock on, which used to be a mechanic she had back in CPE, but they kind of got rid of the invincibility portion of it in this game. Well, I brought it back, and it's full screen now. Just to test how accurate that is. Yeah. She can just do that. Bullet says fuck neutral. Neutral is for fucking sissies and tryhards. The Bullet just goes in and nothing can stop her. Because she gives 0 fucks. Alright, how we doing on time, Seth? Are we speeding along here? 26 minutes, and we're about... Ooh, yeah, we're about halfway through, actually. Getting there, at least. Looks like we're finally gonna avoid an awkward moment where the video is like more than almost 2 hours long. That's good. That's very good. And we also haven't had any bugs happen in the middle of the showcase yet either. You know, it seems that the Bullet is blessed and good luck worthy. Because so far nothing's gone wrong yet. Saying that I probably jinxed myself, but you know. We're gonna take our wins while we have them. With that in mind, I should probably stop rambling and continue going over her changes here to keep that video length nice and short for all of you. Oh, we get to go over some more fun stuff now. Her specials, or more specifically probably mostly her drive follow-ups. Starting with Wad Cutter, as you can see, Wad Cutter is quite different in the way it works, and I will explain. So Wad Cutter's damage has actually been increased by 50%, a hard 50%. And, as you've already seen, will send the opponent very high into the air, flying away at full screen. This move also has 50% minimum damage, which, essentially, for those of you who aren't familiar with minimum damage, which I think I've explained it already before, but, that means that for the first use of this attack in a combo, which will most likely only be once, no matter how scaled the combo is, 50% or half of that attack's base damage will get applied. So even in the most scaled up combos, this will always do at least half of its base damage. This attack also, since it sends full screen and far away, has 120 Paration 2, meaning it'll upscale the next attack you do, which also, this has added cancel options, although the recovery, I think, did I note this? Yeah, I didn't note this, but the recovery of this attack has actually been increased, so it does recover slower, sort of. But that's to compensate for the boosted minimum damage, boosted damage to the hull, and the bonus with the 102 upscaling it does when you land it. For when you cancel into Rage Aggressor. So basically, it'll very much upscale the damage of that distortion finisher I just did, because of the 120 Paration 2. Or, alternatively, if you somehow don't have the meter, you can also just cancel it into Afterburner. So it's basically a trade-off. Well, we'll get into why it's a trade-off later when I go over what I did the Afterburn here. But yeah, this is basically your prime meterless combo ender, or even if you do have meter, you do Wad Cutter into Rage Aggressor for the bonus Paration upscaling. For a crisp, cool, just raw 5D into Wad Cutter into Rage Aggressor, we'll do that nice 6,000 damage. Next up, we have Flint Shooter, which has been changed in a variety of ways. For starters, the recovery has been reduced by half, and the Flint Shooter projectile itself moves a lot faster. With the reduced recovery, you can sort of run in with the projectile there. And Bullet is also no longer limited to having only one Flint Shooter on screen. So, spam away! As for the full charged version, which of course I also changed, the full charge shot, similarly to her unlimited form, but also is sort of a hybrid because it actually still fires the full screen shot. Upon connecting with the opponent, it will do the rapid explosions from her CP unlimited version. And, yeah, it still goes full screen like the uncharged version. Normally, I think... So normally, in this game, if you full charge it, it will go about half screen and then explode, but... Revenger Bullet will have the projectile like normal, still go full screen, and on hit it will do the explosions, which of course have a lot of air and technical time, allowing for nice follow-ups. Oh boy, next up, everyone's favorite move from what I've seen in the comments here, Cutting Shear! I buffed the living hell out of her DP here. So, Cutting Shear is unblockable. Completely unblockable. Unless you jump it. Shit. Oops. And that's kind of to sort of go back in time because back in Vanilla CP, which was Bullet's debut in the series, this used to actually be a grab. So she had a grab for a DP, which was good and not good at the same time. But it's kind of, this is sort of makes it a hybrid between being a throw and being the combo grab that it has been since CPE that we are familiar with today. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. That's unblockable on the ground, but you can still combo into it. However, because it's technically a grab, I wanted to keep the sensation that it's still a grab, so you can still block it in the air. But you have to block it in the air. You can't just jump over it and then punish her for it, is the thing. So, essentially, Cutting Shear is a composite of CP and CPE onward, making it the best of both worlds. I also made it a little bit faster, and also upped the Paration 1 from 70 to 90, which means that your combos off this as a starter do a hell of a lot more damage, as you can already tell from the damage that this move gets by itself. The Paration 2 has also been up from 52 to 85, another drastic increase, so essentially the scaling on Cutting Shear is just a lot better. Eons better, and similar to the Unlimited, it will now do 3 hits that deal more damage overall. If you go into Explode there, you get a cool, crisp 3,700. Speaking of Explode, yeah, the only thing I really did to Explode was it has a harder knockdown when you, cancel by holding D, the side switch, which will leave them in front of the opponent, or leave them in front of Bullet, instead of, throwing them behind like she usually does. So, you get more time to do stuff off this. Can you do 2D off this? Probably too slow, if we're being honest. Yeah, it's definitely not going to work. It's not even letting me go into it for a little while. Yeah, not quite. Okay. You can't do that, something that crazy, but I mean, you could probably do... Okay, you can do that. That's pretty fucking good. Let me see... And this also has 100 P2, apparently. Is that right? Sorry, folks, I am actually going to double check this. Does this actually have 100 Paration, too? I always want to relay you guys accurate information. Interrupt throw. Sorry, it's taking a little longer. Oh, yeah, this does have 100 Paration too. So, yeah, it actually scales really well. Unlike it normally does. So yeah, go nuts with Explode Engage. The full move now leaves the opponent next to... Yeah, that's from her Unlimited. Although the stagger state is slightly extended compared to her Unlimited, so you get more time to do stuff off of it, I think. Mikulad! Oh boy, one of my favorite moves of her entire kit has been buffed to similar to Unlimited. Will go full screen, although in addition to going to full screen, she also runs faster. Although, doesn't her Unlimited... I think her Unlimited runs faster too, actually. But, right. The projectile invincibility is also moved to frame 1, so you can just... Although she has 5D for this already, you can just do that. Bullet essentially just gives the ultimate middle finger to any zoner in the game, because not only can she just run through it with Mikulad, she can also just 5D your ass. Although Mikulad is the safer bet. And you do probably get a better combo off of it overall as well. Let's see... The Paration 2 has been improved, so it scales better, and the throw also will always give counter hit knockback, as if you countered with this, which lets you actually do combos from it full screen. Like so. And in addition, when you break it, which, how do you do that? Do you hit D? I never really used the break function. Or do you hit C? It says in remove list. I never used this function either. Don't judge me. It doesn't say how you can stop it. I know it has a manual break function. Oh, you press B for break, of course. Fucking dumbass, Seth. The recovery when you do that is drastically reduced, though, so you can do fake outs, pretty okay. And the whiff recovery for whiffing the throw has also been heavily reduced as well, so in case they do duck the throw, this still doesn't grab crouchers, but if they do duck the throw, you are a hell of a lot less punishable. And this move also has 25% minimum damage. I already went over minimum damage, so you should hopefully grasp what that means by now. It is a throw. I didn't give it 100% minimum damage like normal throws have, but I gave it a little bit of minimum damage to help deal with the pain, help increase the pain it can deal. Speaking of the pain that Mikulite can deal, I also buffed Piercing Engage, of course. Piercing Engage will now wall bounce mid-screen in a way that's easier to follow up than old Wad Cutter. It still works the same in the corner, so it'll still wall stick them in the corner. The Paration 2 has been up from 74 to 90, and this has also been given 25% minimum damage, similarly to Mikulite. Didn't really need to buff this move all that much, because this is actually kind of more or less one of Bullet's best moves already. So I felt like it didn't really need too many buffs to it. Snap Hands Fist, on the other hand. Holy shit, I kind of wrote a small paragraph on this move, to be honest. So, Snap Hands Fist has a massive amount of horizontal tracking, and Bullet won't actually attempt the throw until she gets close enough to the opponent, similarly to how Mikulite works. How does that work in practice? It means Bullet can do stupid shit like this. And because she won't attempt the throw until she's close enough, no more really awkward whiffs trying to anti-air with this and having her whiff because she didn't make it go far enough, or she just didn't go to where the opponent was. Well, now she'll pretty much always go to where the opponent was, more or less. She still jumps the same height though, so if they are too high. Oh right, Sandbag Rachel can't super jump or anything like that. If they are too high, she will still whiff, but this should hopefully minimize the chances of Snap Hands Fist whiffing on an airborne opponent. It has also been, the startup has also been sped up to match the cancel version, so for example, the startup is actually a lot faster when you cancel into it from like 5D and such. However, using it from neutral now will grant that same increased startup, so in general, this move is just, yeah, Snap Hand is pretty fucking hilariously good now. And that's not even all we did to it, we did a lot more than just that. The air version of Snap Hands is now a grab, similar to the ground version, so you can't block it in the fucking air anymore. You can block this in the air. Well, not anymore, because it's a fucking throw like the ground version, motherfuckers. The whiff recovery has also been cut in half from the move in general, and the ground version will actually use the enhanced scaling of the air version. The air version, for some reason, scales better. Well, the ground version now inherits that. So basically, the air version and the ground version are more or less the same. And last but not least, both versions have 100 Paration 1, so very good starter for an anti-air, and 90 Paration 2 with 25% minimum damage. And last but not least, and here's my favorite thing I did to this move, the ground version of Snap Hands, say if you do it off of 5D, can cancel into the air version for double snap combos mid-screen. So you can pick, before you go into Flechette, you can pick if you want the side swap or not. Also, that just looks extremely badass. I'm kind of annoyed I forgot about this change during her Mars run, because I really wanted to show you guys this sooner, but I mean, come on, look at this. Look how stylish that is. Look how much mad money damage you get off of it, too. Oh, boy! Speaking of Flechette, of course, that's the next move we're going over. Flechette, similarly to Piercing, was kind of one of her best moves already, so I didn't really do much to it besides up the scaling from on her Paration 2 value from 84 to 95. The air attackable time was kind of pointlessly doubled, although Flechette will send a decent amount higher into the air now, which means your 6A into full charge flint shooter timing isn't going to be a little thrown off with this character, as it is for me. But it's luckily not that hard to get used to. In addition, along with sending higher on Flechette here, the opponent will be in a hard knockdown when they land for a very short period of time, so you can actually do pretty icky shit like this. God damn it. It is a little difficult, though. You can actually do Flechette into 2D. Get that bonus proration. Something I should have taken more advantage of, but unfortunately I didn't. Next up, okay, the second to last special whip. Actually, let's go over Afterburner last. We'll actually go over Crossfire Wheel first. This fucking move for command grab, I have a vendetta against, and because I have a vendetta against it, I buffed the ever-loving fuck out of it to make it actually decent. Crossfire Wheel for starters, no more fucking 360A command. This move's been changed to be 214A. Because fuck 360s on this character. And now, similarly to Serpentine Assault, has a small forward lunge, which gives it a lot more range, of course, making it more viable of an attack. Let's see here. Sorry, folks. Trying to read along here with the long change list here. Let's see. Has a small forward lunge, gets better damage on its own, as in the actual grab portion here into the heal drop. Does a little more damage, I think. Also, the harder knockdown afterwards, you can actually do 2C, 3C off of it. I'm not sure why, because I think there's not really any actual benefit to that, but I kind of figured it'd be cool, just for style points, maybe. In addition, it will also scale like a regular command throw without the shithole Proration 2 value, meaning if you do combo off of it, the damage is not going to be so heavily scaled anymore. As you can already see there, even though I fucked up. Let me see here. The throw hitbox itself has actually been large and made larger in size too, so it'll help with snagging people from that increased grab distance there. It's not quite round start as you can see, but if you just walk a little bit forward, it does have a considerable amount of grab range. Can I actually grab her outside of 5C? Not quite, unfortunately. Can I grab her out of 5B? Probably not. Yeah, not quite, unfortunately. But, yeah, you do got that launch range. And, last change for this move is that you can actually cancel into it on block from 5A, 2A, 5B, 2, and 2B for some easy money tick throw setups. Shit. And the stagger window on this is pretty fucking high, too, so you can do some pretty late cancels, kind of. Or I guess not. Oh yeah, you can. If you don't accidentally fucking super jump trying to get the input really fast. But yeah, you can do basically that for icky tick throw setups. Or triple grabs, if you want. Okay, Shot Shell engage. Oh boy, I'm about to shell this move too. So, Shot Shell no longer is the same move particularly. In fact, Shot Shell instead is now essentially, due to sharing a similar animation, now goes into a non-active flow version of her Exceed Excel, resulting in a lot more damage. On top of that, you can still follow up on it like normal, so it's basically just the extra drag damage and the higher damage from the actual toss as well. But it hits just the same essentially as the old Shot Shell, so you can still follow on top of it like normal Shot Shell engage. And similarly to Crossfire, it will scale like a regular command throw without the shithole Paration 2 value bonking you down. How are we doing on time, Seth? 44 minutes, okay, if we're lucky this will only go to probably about an hour and a half. For her last special change, we finally get onto Afterburner, and Afterburner is probably the move I changed the most on her, to be fair, and that's kind of why we saved it for last. Because, I mean, you're already wondering, I mean, Seth, she's already got permanent heat up level 2. What could you possibly really do with Afterburner? Well, I had an amazing idea what to do with Afterburner, my friends. Let me explain what it is here. After I take a sip of water here, my throat is getting... The fatigue is setting in, folks. Having to talk about your character for over an hour. Well, it hasn't been an hour yet, but we're getting there. Anyways, Afterburner. First off, Starmate to Unlimited. It will actually guard point literally everything on frame 1. Until she actually heats up, that is. So if you're holding it, you actually get armor. Rachel do... Whoops. Shit. Yeah, if you hold it, you'll get armor frames to everything that isn't a throw until she heats up. But... let's see here... Until recovery. Successfully heating up, though, with this move will now actually give Bullet some meter. 20 heat to be precise, and not just that. On top of getting 20 heat, Bullet will actually get a 10% extra damage and defensive buff. Kind of like Adachi's Heat Riser from Persona. Except for the fact that you can stack it with more Afterburners, which means every time she uses Afterburner, she gets 10% more damage and 10% more defense. Or actually, more accurately, it's more like 5% more defense, technically. The defensive value increases by 10, but it's actually more like she takes 5% less damage. And these bonuses can actually be stacked up to 250%. And at max buffs, that would mean that Bullet is doing 2.5 times regular damage and taking half damage at max buff threshold. So essentially, she has Adachi's Heat Rise that she can keep stacking on herself. And that's kind of why the trade-off exists with Wad Cutter. You can either go into it for damage and then finish with a distortion if you have the meter for it, or you can do Wad Cutter, blow the opponent back, and then cancel into Afterburner for a buff and some meter. That's kind of what I was going for with that. But that's not all. Fully charging Afterburners and holding it for its max duration will grant double the buff, so you get 20% extra damage and defense instead of the normal 10. 10% extra heat, so you get 30 heat instead of 20. And on top of that, will create a very large explosion around bullets to make your heat up really safe and punishing, actually, because the explosion itself actually has a very, very high amount of blocks done. Oh my god, you can tick throw into into crossfire with that. That's disgusting. Can she mash out of that? I can't really test that, but I mean... Hold on. I think she's safe. I think Bullet is safe off this. Yeah, you can't punish her for that. If you block the explosion, Bullet is plus. And the fact that she can actually just legitimately command grab you off of it's kind of disgusting. Well, okay then. But yeah, full charging gives you this big-ass explosion at double the heat. So, I mean, if you're feeling ballsy and think they're not going to throw you, you can just heat up and get 100 meter off that. And a massive buff to your attack and defense. And that's not the only thing this explosion does, either. This explosion is actually very, very good. Like, even more good than I've already showed. Because this explosion, actually, if you manage to land in the middle of a combo, this explosion has 100% minimum damage, 100 paration 1 and 2, and 120 bonus paration to further upscale combo damage. Do not get hit by this, because frankly, if you get hit by this, it actually very perfectly launches you into a short tumble state into the air, which is basically candy for Bullet here to do just about whatever she wants. Besides get 60 or 2D. However, because this also happens to fatal counter, if she fatal counters, it will launch higher. Oh my fucking god, and that happens! Yeah, do not get counter hit by this. Do not get counter hit by this move. For your own good, do not get counter hit by this move. How much does, this do, actually? On counter hit? Oh, it doesn't even fatal counter, it does a lot. Definitely, yeah, this is definitely her best starter. It's kind of impractical, but if they're dumb enough to mash into you while you're using Afterburner here, if they don't respect your heat up, they can get counter hit by that explosion, and as you can see, just going into 2D, or I guess 2D doesn't work, just going into 6D off this. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. That would pretty much kill any regular character. Right, And lastly on Afterburner, the cancel version that you get for canceling into it off of, like, for 5D. You can't hold that one, but the startup and stuff has been changed to be, the normal Afterburner has its startup changed to match the cancel version, which of course is very clearly faster than normal. Oh, the cancel version is actually slower. Never mind, it's vice versa. The cancel version has been sped up to match the neutral version, giving you more advantage off doing 5D with no wad cutter into Afterburner. And yeah, that is it for all of her specials. Now we get to go into her distortions, and then onto her new attacks, of which there are several. How are we doing? Nearly on the hour mark. Right then. So first off, we have Rage Aggressor, which has also been made similar to its unlimited form, of course, with some extra nuances from yours truly. But for starters, similar to its unlimited version, Rage Aggressor is now full invulnerable after startup. So even though even when she's running at you, you can normally just knock her out when she's running at you before she uppercuts or even after during her uppercut. But now she is totally invincible until she starts to land, I believe, from the uppercut. Yeah, after the first rising hit is done, she's vulnerable and she begins to fall down. But in addition to being invincible, having a lot more invincibility, Bullet will now automatically run full screen, and obviously much, much faster to reach you. So this is a very good full screen punish, and a very hilarious one at that. Which also means, even with Wad Cutter's ridiculous launch distance... Ooh, you do have to time it a little bit, though, that's the thing. It's mainly just for when you get him in the corner. But I think if you're very... I think you have to delay it a little bit to get it from the other side of the screen here. Either that or it's not possible at all. Yeah, I think it's not possible at all to land it like that. Ooh, so close. Yeah, I think you do have to wait. I think if you cancel into it too soon, she'll uppercut too early, so you have to wait. Ooh, yeah. I have to wonder, if any of you fucking around with the Bullet can actually pull that off from this side of the screen, and actually do Wad Cutter into Rage Aggressor, do tell me, because I will commend you for your extreme skill and timing. But that's kind of off topic, and that's probably what inflates this video duration, so I should shut up now. But yeah, Rage Aggressor will run up full screen to the opponent, and she's completely invincible on the approach until after she starts to land from her uppercut. But that is not all, of course. The minimum damage on Rage Aggressor has been raised to 40%, and the Duration 1 and 2 has been increased from 80 to 90. And lastly, if you do it point blank, rather than starting to run at the opponent, Bullet will pretty much just go into the uppercut, making this move extremely fast at point blank range. That upperation minimum damage, making it do about 4k raw. Next up, Serpentine. Oh, yes. In a similar vein to Crossfire, Serpentine has also had its command change to be 214-214A, because fuck 720s on this character especially as well. The only time you can really do this, and the only time I ever really do Serpentine, as you've probably watched me for 2 years now, is when I get up from a move and I mash the hell out of my stick to try and get it. Well, no more! Now you can do Piss Easy Serpentines. You can do 5C Serpentine. Is that a legit, like, kick throw on block? Oh my god, it is. You can just do 5C Serpentine? Can she jump that? Hold on, I have to figure this out. Bullet, do Serpentine. Rachel, you can't jump out of that. That is a true throw setup. 5C to Serpentine is a true throw setup that you can't jump out of. Can she mash out of it? No, she can't because she'd be invincible anyways. That's disgusting. Holy shit. You can just do random block string into 5C, and if they block, they get grabbed by Serpentine. If they get hit, you can just do a combo. That's gross. Oh, okay. But, the damage has been increased to basically do as much as it used to do back in CP, so 5,620, the exact same as Taker's old Genesig damage. Because Bornet's Super Karab needed to be buffed back into its glory days. Beautiful. Let's see here. And similarly to what I did, although I actually kind of got the crossfire change in this move because she lunges forward in this game when she uses Serpentine. Well, when she uses Serpentine, although crossfire will lunge about as far as Serpentine normally does, Serpentine will now lunge a little bit farther with more grab range, similarly to crossfire as well. And last but not least, Serpentine, although I will note something here. Baroque's Unlimited Bullet mod gave her Airborne Crossfire Wheel, which I thought was really, really cool, and although I would have wanted to maybe do that, I also didn't want to rip off of him, and he kind of got that idea before me, so as per my rules, I couldn't give her Air Crossfire. I could, however, give her Aerial Serpentine Assault, which kind of works similarly to Tager's Airborne Genesig and BB Tag, so as you can see, it is a little wonky because of how the grab actually works. I'll actually just purple throw her off of a ladder combo here to show you. Come on. Yeah, as you can see, it's a little weird, but it works. As wonky as it appears, it does still fortunately work, so if I work in the corner, I should probably just, if anything's gonna cause a fucking bug, it's gonna be this. I want to make sure it's abundantly fine here. Come on. Son of a bitch. Damn it, Seth. Okay, at least I jinxed myself, but at least I caught it during the video here. I can patch Bullet before I put this up here. That's what you get for being lazy and just copying the fucking data from regular Serpentine. You get shit like that, Seth. Okay, well, yeah, essentially, Aerial Serpentine, I'll fix it so that it works in the corner. Don't worry. I'll figure it out. Oh, god damn it. At least I figured it out before release. Hopefully nobody actually finds any bug fixes for this character I have to do day one. Striker, don't jinx me, brother. I'm hoping you won't. Alright, that's all for Serpentine, though. Alright, now let's go through her new moves I gave her, which there are quite a few, along with her Unlimited Distortion. But for starters, we have her now infamous combat role. Being a hardened mercenary with a lot of fighting experience in the field, this kind of just seems like a move Bullet would have, too. Just an evasive role to mix up your opponent a little bit. To do this role, you hit A and D, which is pretty natural for a PlayStation controller. That would be square and X. And the roll is pretty fucking fast, and she is actually completely invincible for it until she stops moving. The recovery can also be whiff-cancelled into a variety of special moves, like roll Crossfire, roll Flick Shooter, roll Snap Hands, if they jump, and roll another move we'll go over later, and even roll Serpentine. Bullet will clearly pass through the opponent if they're close enough when she starts her roll, which, if used class enough, yeah, it's basically fast, super easy cross-ups. You just do roll crossfire, or roll snap hands, roll flint shooter. All that good stuff. Ah, yes, the move I've been waiting to talk about. Bullet now has a 214B command, lovingly and fittingly dubbed Akatsuki Blitzkampf! If you can't tell what this move is a reference to my very beloved main in Under Night In-Birth, Akatsuki's. Famous or infamous, depending on who you ask. Godly, perfectly balanced 214B kicks. Although, because it's Bullet and uses animations from Bullet, it's a little ghetto. But I mean, you can clearly tell what it's supposed to be. Although I will say the wonky animation does make it, well, behave a little weird in some interactions, but that can't really be helped because of how hitboxes work. I've actually really wanted to give a character this move. It just so happened that Bullet has the perfect animations to use for the kick, the upper kick, and then the spiking kick. But, rest assured this would have gone on a character eventually. It just so happened that Bullet got lucky. Now, not only is it Akatsuki's infamous 214B, I buffed it to go even further beyond. This actually has frame 1 invincibility. But don't worry, it's not a DP. It has frame 1 invincibility before the attack becomes active, so the moment that JB hitbox becomes active, she loses the invincibility, meaning you can actually trade pretty well. Like that. In most interactions, so it's not a DP. If you follow up on counter hit, similar to how Akatsuki can, you can get a conversion off of it. Excuse me? There we go. But yeah, this is basically a meterless combo ender that isn't Wad Cutter. Wad Cutter sends really far away. 214B on the other hand leaves the opponent right next to you for more pressure. And on top of that, alternatively, if you don't want that and you have meter, the final kick will actually cancel into some distortions, or her astral even. Whoops, more HP than that. Or you can do Rage Aggressor. Or I think you can also even do... Okay, not on the ground version. For the air version, you can do... Hold on. Damn it. Whoops. Let's not talk about wonky hitboxes. I need to do... Motherfucker. God, I'm so bad at this video game. There we go. Okay. Next up, lastly for specials, we have J214C, which I have dubbed and assigned a voice line to Aglet Bringer, which is a dive kick, a slower dive kick, but this was actually an unused J2C that wasn't this one, surprisingly enough. But this is actually an unused J2C command in her Central Fiction file. It was totally awful and completely useless in all regards when I was testing it out, so I basically redesigned it to more or less be Soul's Break Special, his 214K from Guilty Gear Xrd. Complete with when she lands, she does a little flint shooter explosion in front of her. This basically, yeah, just works the same way as that move. It will dive down when she lands, it will knock them into the explosion, which will send them away, and in corner combos, you can follow up on this for additional damage. Which you should do, because this move has also been gifted 120 bonus duration. Or from mid-screen, you can actually, if you're quick enough, you can dash and get a 5B pickup mid-screen. Or a 6B pickup, apparently, too. But 5B is a lot more reliable because she sticks her leg out farther. Next up, we have her new distortions, her unlimited distortions, and a singular new distortion. For starters, she has her J236-236A, her max lock dive. A rather brutal diving kick that launches the opponent into the corner automatically. This move is now counted as an overhead and is also air unblockable. Unlike normally also as well, the recovery on hit is reduced, so you can actually continue comboing off of it. If you're quick enough and have the timing down, there we go. Pressure Buster! Half circle forward C. This move is a pain in the ass to do. I fucking hate this command, but I didn't have a better thing to give it. So, Bullet will rush forward, similar to Mikulette, and grab. This still whiffs on crouchers, by the way, just a note. Fuck. There we go. So, Pressure Buster, as usual, will rush forward and grab the opponent. And if she does grab the opponent, we'll slam them into the corner. And, yeah, just blast their ass. Yeah, I didn't actually do anything to this besides make sure it did about as much damage as it does in CP. When she's in Overdrive, because this is her Overdrive and Limited Distortion. So I made sure it did just about as much damage there as it did here. Or it does as much damage here as it did there, my bad. Oh boy. Oh, big gulp of water there. My mouth's getting dry. Lastly, for distortions, we have an original creation of mine. Because this is another kind of like a Aglet Bringer here. I wanted to use one of her other unused lines, so I created this distortion here. And this distortion is unique in that it can only be used after you do 5D, so it's like a distortion follow-up. Doesn't work off 2D, doesn't work off 6D, just 5D. So if you do 214, 214D after you do 5D, you get Highland Brid. We'll do a neat little combo move and then air throw the opponent down into a pretty hard knockdown. The air throw ender actually has 130 P2, meaning it is a sort of combo extender distortion that upscales your damage for the follow-ups. Although I will say, for some bizarre reason, this scales the untech time, especially the Overdrive version of this move. It scales the untech time hella hard. So typically you probably won't be able to follow up off this by very much, although, yeah, exactly, she'll tech out of the fucking Flechette ender. So my recommendation is to actually do Highland Brid near the end of a combo, and then as soon as you possibly can, go into a Distortion Ender, which will bypass the hit stun decay. And let's see. Last but not least, we have her Astral, Hard Kill Bringer. The only thing I did to Hard Kill Bringer was change it to be unblockable because the animation kind of resembles a grab anyways. And it would kind of make it more like Tager's Astral. So, that's pretty much everything except for her Exceed Excel, which we'll go over when we cover her Overdrive. Yes. Oh fucking hell, we're an hour and 8 minutes into the video. Oh no, this is gonna be a long showcase, isn't it? Because there's still quite a bit to go over now that we hit her Overdrive. I'm sorry, guys, I can't help. Oh my god, there's so much left to go over. My apologies, people. Well, let's just get this over with. I need to figure out a way to sort of cut the showcase time down, potentially. Maybe I'll just do those jump cuts whenever I talk about stuff that everyone else typically does during these formats. It kind of makes me paranoid because I think it's cutting up the flow of the video, but who fucking cares if it shortens down the video. I think a lot of you probably don't want to watch a really super long showcase video again. But yeah, hopefully some of your more vocal regulars on here, give me your opinion on that. I wanna do what's more comfortable for you guys. But right, I'm delaying what I shouldn't be. Let's go over Bullet's Overdrive. You've been wondering the entire video, and now it's finally time to talk about it. So, yeah, when she uses her Overdrive, it goes away. It's essentially wasted. But that's just because you're using an Overdrive at the wrong time. You see, her Overdrive will automatically waste itself up to a certain health threshold. And that health threshold, give or take, is about 23%. Of course, everyone's probably wondering, Seth, why exactly did you make it so her overdrive only works on low health in general? Well, I'm gonna tell you before I show you the very, very good reason why that her overdrive is like this is because Revenger Bullet has probably the single most powerful overdrive of any super boss I have made so far. If that makes you shiver in fear, it definitely should, and it is totally warranted. Because you see, if the bullet activates her overdrive at approximately 23% health, she transforms into Golden Bullets! Yes, indeed! Definitely not what anyone was expecting for an overdrive effect, I bet. Well, obviously, the very bright and flashy aesthetic on Golden Bullet here is not just for show. As why else would I restrict her overdrive to only working at this low health threshold? I'm about to go over why. For one thing, just to show you off here, if you use it even a smidge over that health threshold, you will lose your burst, and etc, etc. But if you're careful attention here, gotta set the gauge to infinite here. I'm sorry, I'm excited. And obviously, you'll know when you're successful because the camera will zoom in on Bullet when she transforms into her new amazing form. Unparalleled, unrivaled, and undominable with her massive power. What does Golden Bullet do, you might ask? Well, for starters, Golden Bullet will instantly gain a 50% damage bonus on top of any previous stacks that were given to her from Afterburner. So, say if you use a shit ton of full charge Afterburners, and then just Overdrive, that's another 50% boost. Simple as that. On top of this, her walk speed has been quadrupled to sort of resemble Gold Melia. Yes, there's a reason I uploaded that video, folks. Other than to be entertaining with her. She's not quite as fast as Gold Melia because that would be very hard to control, but that's where the inspiration came from. Her dash speed has been doubled. Her air dash speed has been increased by 50%. Because although Bullet is kind of like Makoto in that I want her to be a more grounded fighter, so her ground mobility is going to be vastly superior to her air mobility, but she's still got really large air dashes. And speaking of air dashes, she also gets an extra jump and an extra air dash, so she has 2 air dashes and 3 jumps. Oh, that's just the tip of the iceberg, my friends. For you see as well, Golden Bullet can actually reverse beat her normals into any other normal, including 2D and 6D, which means you can do crazy shit like this. Let me just get Rachel out of the corner here. Oh wait, that's a regular thing you can do. Just do... There we go! So basically you can do 5C, 5A, 5C, 6A, all this good shit. You can do the shit like this. You do, 3C, 6C, 3C, 6A, 6C, blah blah blah, you get the point. Bullet has absolute control over her pressure. She can cancel any normal into any normal, and can even cancel her drives, well, her 6D and 2D at least, into other normals. So, 2D's 5C, that works. All that good stuff. The world is her oyster. Your pressure is limited only by your imagination. Let me see. Although every normal can only be cancelled into twice per string, so you can't do like, you can't just keep doing that. You can do that for 2 reps. And then it'll stop working. Let's see. Alright, and now for... You're probably saying, Seth, that's pretty nuts, but that's not like the most insane overdrive. Well, Here's what makes it the most insane overdrive, my friends. For you see, as you've noticed, Golden Bullet will automatically last 20 seconds regardless of her health. Even, that includes if you use it on a sliver here, I should add. So, regardless of when you activate Golden Bullet here, so long as you're in the health threshold, you'll get 20 seconds. Here's the thing, though. Golden Bullet is fucking invincible for the entire duration of the overdrive. That is right. You are not seeing things. I did not stutter. Golden Bullet is invincible. Completely and utterly unhittable by anything for the entire duration of the overdrive. That is 20 seconds that you essentially have to survive her unrivaled burning fury. Which is unlikely, given all the other shit that I've given her as well. Golden Bullet here was basically made to be the ultimate comeback tool, and just with that alone, she certainly delivers. You can compose your last will and testaments now. Although I will add, in the insane miracle that you do survive Golden Bullet, you will notice during her overdrive, her health will actually, drain down in this form. And that's because, frankly, if you somehow manage to survive 20 seconds against an invincible Golden Bullet, you should just single-handedly get the win off of any hit that you land on her afterwards. Let's see. And on top of her bigger damage output from the boost she gets to her passive multiplier, all of her combo throw specials, such as Cutting Shear, Snap Hands, those all got their minimum damage buffed to 50%. So, they scale better. Alright. Oh. Let loose some of that energy, Seth. It's okay. You can't deny Golden Bullet looks beautiful, though, folks. Look at this shit. Look at that aura. Look at that trail. Look how well it all comes together. And yeah, she does get insane damage off even the simplest of hits. But that aside, oh shit. Let's get on to what she can do with her new hits, actually. So, the one change I did to her normals in this form is that J2C has a bigger ground bounce on air hits. You can do, if you time it, you can do, or does he do this in the corner? You can do all sorts of fun stuff you couldn't do before with J2C outside of Overdrive, though. I don't think I have any in mind off the top of my head, unfortunately, but just believe me. Alright, next up, Crush Trigger! Crush Trigger will auto-launch even on a grounded hit, with minimum damage similar to the charged version, and takes even less time to fully charge now. And the fully charged version has had its minimum damage and base damage increased, and is basically a standalone pressure buster. The Proration 1 value has been up from 120 to 130, making it even more of a deadly combo starter, especially in the quarter here. That was 13k. Let's see. Roll! Combat Roll can actually whiff cancel a lot sooner and has half the recovery. So you can do stuff like this, which is kind of basically just for cross-ups now, because I mean, Golden Bullet is literally invincible. But, yeah, you can do dirtier cross-ups with it. And you can also cancel it Immaculate. Oh, whoops. Probably should have waited to show that off. Yeah, you get more specials you can cancel out of it, though. Let's see. Oh, you can actually cancel into Pressure Buster now, too. You have to be a little quick on that one. See, Wad Cutter has been changed to now blast the opponent basically a straight line back with a shit ton of ground slide and a lower angle. The Operation 2 has been increased from 120 to 130, and the minimum damage has been up from 50% to 75% for this move in particular. And the lower angle obviously lets you do Rage Aggressor easier from literally anywhere. because they're not flying 60 feet in the air, bullet can actually catch up to them and do the uppercut. On top of this, Wad Cutter can now instead, if you choose, go into Pressure Buster. That's going to take a little more timing, apparently. Oh, shit. Okay, maybe that's a little, that's more of a mid-screen thing, probably. Yeah, there you go. Alright, next up, Flint Shooter is always charged, goes 50% even faster than normal, so it's pretty much double speed normally than what it normally is on normal bullet at this point. And, is way larger. And still spammable, I might add. And on top of this, you can actually roll or dash cancel the projectile after it's fired. Like, right after it's fired. Okay. Cutting Shear! The base damage per hit got reduced slightly to compensate for her new damage bonus that she gets, because, like I said, additional 50% on the flat. Along with ever fucking shit she gets after Afterburners. So, this was like, I had to nerf the base damage in Overdrive because this was, her DP should not be her most highest damaging special in this form. That seemed a little wrong to me, but it still does a hell of a lot more damage than normal, as you can probably see right here. That was 3k. And Explode has been completely changed to do this! Beautiful, ain't it? Explode Engage will now have bullets go into her first astral hits, before slamming her down on the ground and throwing her into a regular level 2 shot shell. However, this particular level 2 shot shell follow-up has a much stronger wall bounce and 2 ground bounces that are really small, but they still give you enough time to convert into basically whatever here. Like that. Let me tell you something, guys. I put my fucking heart into this Overdrive. In case you couldn't tell from how flashy all of her moves are at this point. Let's see, what's next on the list here? Miculette! Miculette has Bullet run twice as fast, and rather than grabbing them and tossing them into the air, Bullet will instead grab them into a God Press! And slams them into the corner. Basically Pressure Buster without the explosions. Piercing Engage is not usable in this form, but, yeah, the attack does way more damage because it, yeah, more damage and it auto-quarters them. I don't think Piercing Engage is really necessary off that, if you ask me. Next up, Flechette. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, Flechette! Oh, man, this is fucking cool. So, Flechette! Doing Flechette will have Bullet do actually an additional Snap Hands before going to the next move. So if you do it off of the ground here, Snap Hands, Flechette into a meterless blackout finisher that you can extend off of. For additional devastation. Indeed, you cannot fucking tell me this is not slick. Oh, Bullet. Let me see. Anything else noting about that? Nah, just the addition. That's the third Snap Hands into Blackout. That's all. Crossfire Wheel gets a lot more lunging distance to where you can do this with it. Almost from round start position. That is some fucking Tager grab range. Crossfire, so Shot Shell Engage, as you can probably anticipate, is now an active flow Exceed Excel with much less recovery and more untechable time. And also has a double ground bounce like Explode Engage's Shot Shell launch. What if you can do... Holy shit, dude, this is nuts. The bullets! The bullets! Oh, this is so beautiful. I can't wait to see what kind of crazy shit you can do with Golden Bullet here. Just regular Bullet too, but holy hell. Obviously, Puya is gonna have a fucking field day with this. Okay, how long are we going on to? Okay, this added Golden Bullet segment's only 14 minutes long. We're doing pretty good on video duration, I think. We should be able to finish this up in a reasonable amount of time, if I keep going at this pace. Let's see, Shot Shell, okay. Afterburner! Who can forget Afterburner? So Afterburner now gives triple the damage buff. So instead of getting 10%, you get 30! Also, it's always fully charged, so the explosion will always activate. But if you full charge it anyways, you will get an additional 10, meaning if you full charge it in golden form, you get a 50% damage bonus, meaning if you overdrive and then do 2 of these, you're at the max damage cap of 250%, which means you can do this. Well, if I followed up on it successfully. That's 6k, that's not a 5D wad cutter, though. Let's see. Also gives 10 extra heat, which doesn't include the bonuses for full charging it. So full charging gives you 40 heat and 50% extra damage. But normally, if you don't charge it, you get 30% extra damage and 30 heat. And yeah, the explosion full charging is always active regardless if you charge or not. So you can do... Well, you can't chain them together, luckily. Or you probably can chain 2 together if you fatal counter them. Oh, God. Oh, what the fuck is that, dude? Oh, shit. Okay, I'm getting a little carried away there. Oh, shit, I lost my train of thought here. What was I talking about? Alright, the explosion for full charging Afterburner is always active regardless if you charge or not, and yeah, you can see how this would be disgusting for her pressure, especially with reverse beats. You can just 5D in, and then just like unblock because they can't fucking do anything. Just all sorts of crazy shit off that. Aglet Bringer will have Bullet dive faster, and she gains a larger explosion on landing with less recovery, so that's basically like Soul's Dragon install version. In addition, this now hits overhead, and the explosion sends higher up with the enemy not flying as far away outside the corner. So basically it means mid-screen conversions off Aglet Bringer are easier, because they just basically fly right up in the air there. Oh, Lord. Akatsuki Bullets Comp will do the EX boosted or C version from Under Night, and the Paration 1 value has been up to 100, with the Paration 2 set to 85 compared to BB Tag version of the attack, meaning the scaling's overall better. And, yeah. It's a little finicky, I guess, though. Yeah, it's even wonkier than the regular one, but, definitely a good thing to extend your combos with. Wait, I think you can cancel the Aglet Bringer. Can you? Let's find out. Oh, yeah, kind of. Especially in the corner, you can probably do it really easily. Something like that. Alright. Okay, last stretch of the showcase, my friends. We're almost done, thank God. Hopefully keep this, at least not the longest showcase we've done. Just gotta go over Golden Bullet's distortions. So, for starters, Rage Aggressor, if she gets crossed up while she's running at you, she will auto-correct her direction and keep chasing you until she finally gets to you. In addition, the uppercut does more hits and is air unblockable. And when she hits you with the uppercut, she will instead go into an Explode Slam into a Crossfire Wheel heal, finishing with an Astral Blast. Ah, beautiful. So Explode Slam, Crossfire heal, drop after the uppercut finishes with the Astral Blast for huge damage. The final portion of the attack with the Astral has 5,000 minimum damage, just to note. It will always scale to 5,000, even ignoring her damage buffs here. Let's full charge her damage. How much does raw Rage Aggressor do at max damage potential? Oh my lord. Oh, I guess it does give her a damage bonus. Holy shit, dude. That Touch of Death's a limited taker with 1 distortion! Oh my god. Okay, clear the damage buffs. You can't follow up on OD Rage Aggressor despite the long knockdown after the Astral hit, but the knockdown is so long that it basically gives you more time for mix-up and shit. You know, assuming the opponent actually survived it. It does 12k without damage bonuses, so I mean, they probably didn't. Serpentine! Oh, shit. This is the big one. Yeah, let's actually save Serpentine for last. So we'll do Matchlock Dive first. Matchlock Dive does twice as many possible ground slide hits, has less recovery on hit, allowing better follow-ups, and even less if you whiff it, to the point where if you whiff it, you basically can do basically no landing recovery. So if you somehow fuck up your dive kick, just immediately cancel the Pressure Buster. Let me see. Twice as many ground slide hits, let's recover hit. The wall hit at the end bounces higher and has a hard knockdown, so yeah, you just get better follow-ups overall if it alongside doing more damage. Indeed, you can get a 6D off of it. Oh, that would have been sick if that actually worked. Alright. Pressure Buster! Oh, this is the last distortion I got done for her, actually. This was a pain in the ass to make, but I'm glad it paid off. So, Pressure Buster in Overdrive now can grab crouching opponents. So nothing will save you from this move now. In addition, it also travels a hell of a lot faster. So she can indeed grab you from full screen, which means actually this should work. Nope, guess not. That's unfortunate. Let's see. Upon hitting the wall, well, I might as well just show you what happens. And you can follow up off of it because of course you can. But yeah, basically Bullet slams you into the wall and then proceeds to do Yumizuka Satsuki's Arc Drive from Melty Blood as a tribute to my favorite Melty Blood character. And for how similar the attacks are in general with the wall slamming. Let me see. Yeah, that's about it. Highland Brid, the combo extender, still suffers from its weird hit stun decay, but Highland Brid will do essentially a fancier string. Leaving them in a extended spin state afterwards. And the Paration 2 of that final hit is 150 instead of 130, meaning you get even better scaling, because of course you do. Meaning this is definitely maybe what you want to go for if you're trying to maximize your damage. God, I can already tell it's gonna bug out and miss on some characters, probably. It's gonna make me so mad, but I mean... Oh, man. This isn't even optimized, by the way, just saying. Okay, and for the last change to Revenger and Golden Bullet as a whole, we go to Serpentine Assault. And I'm just gonna show you what happens if you get hit by Serpentine. I'm not gonna explain it. $13,000 damage. If you get hit by Serpentine as a regular character, you die. Straight up. And considering she has the true block string throw setup of 5C into Serpentine that you can't jump out of, the moment she blocks, have her jump. Oh shit, yeah, okay, fuck. You get the point. We already went over that early in the showcase. But, yeah! That will be Revenger Bullet, everyone! This will conclude the showcase of, I say this a lot, but this truly has to be probably one of my most favorite mods of all time. Is Golden Bullet Extreme, like, 101 overkill? You bet your fucking ass she is, but I don't give a shit. The time for the bullet's glory is now! And besides, why be the guy with the golden gun when you can be the guy with the golden bullet? Oh, actually, I forgot to say, her Exceed Excel. I forgot to go over her Exceed Excel. It's pretty lackluster compared to her other Overdrive distortions, but, her Exceed Excel is, of course, the permanent active flow version with the cancel version startup speed. Since the Overdrive is set to, infinite, you can't see it. Still ends her Overdrive if you whip it. So, be careful with that. But, her Exceed Excel is now completely unblockable. And has 100% unscaled minimum damage because it looks like a throw. So I gave it 100% minimum damage. Ooh, how much does it do on max buff? Let's see. That's disgusting. Anyways, whew. This is a longer one. I don't think it's longer than some of the others, fortunately. I'll probably put a cat picture somewhere to compensate, maybe. Oh boy. I'm really happy that Bullet is finished. I'm really happy sharing her with you all. Showing my pride as a Bullet main here. She's not the most appreciated character in BlazBlue, but she's definitely to me one of the most funnest, and really flashy fighting game characters I've ever played. So I figure she deserves her time in the spotlight here. And with her power, she should be able to dominate all those who stand in her way. Hopefully you all enjoy her as much as I do, as much as I enjoyed making her. Look forward to the next Super Boss mod. I will say it will probably take a little while because there's I want to do a little special arrangement for the next Super Boss reveal. So forgive me if it takes a little bit of time to get up, but hopefully that will be really soon. Download link for Bullet will be in the description. I hope to maybe see some of you upload your own content of her having a blast, all that good stuff. Even though she isn't the most popular character and I see the views for her videos aren't really that great, but hopefully those of you watching, I hope you can appreciate her as one of my finest creations to date. With that said, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoy. Hope to catch you in all future uploads. And I'll see you later.